everybody loves pie, but not everybody loves to make the pie crust. Actually, it's really easy, so let me show you how. In my bowl, I have unbleached all-purpose flour, a little bit of sugar, and a little bit of salt. And I'm just gonna mix those together with a whisk. All of your ingredients when you're making pie dough should be really, really well chilled. And I need to incorporate my fat. I'm using lard. What I need to do is cut the lard into the flour, and I'm gonna be using a pastry cutter to do that. Press down on the lard into the flour. Another way to incorporate the fat into the flour is to just use your hands. So you can just press the flour and the lard together, and it sort of creates sheets of the lard, and that will give you a really nice flaky crust. So sometimes I go back and forth between my pastry cutter and just using my hands. I love to get my hands in the dough. And now you'll see as I'm working it, that flour that was so dry and powdery is now coming together. This is what it should look like when you're done. It should look like cornmeal with some pea-sized pieces of lard, and when you squeeze it together, it should actually stay together. Now I need to add liquid to my pie dough. I'm adding ice cold water. I've actually put this glass right into the freezer for a little bit to really, really chill that down. I want to make sure that I'm not going to melt all of those pea-sized pieces of lard that I've created. I'm also adding a little bit of vodka. Adding a little bit of vodka to your water will allow you to add more liquid and not create a tough pie crust. First, we're gonna add our water and vodka together, and then we're gonna pour about 3/4 of that water into our pie dough. We don't wanna add it all at once because we may not end up needing it. And I'm gonna take a spoon and I'm just gonna gently toss that together. Make sure that I'm getting all of my water evenly incorporated into the pie crust. I like to just get in there with my hands so I can sort of feel that. I'm just gently tossing it. I'm not kneading it. When I do sort of press that dough together, it's staying together in a ball, and that's exactly what I want to see happen. If there's not powdery flour on the bottom of your bowl, you do not need to add any more water. Just keep pressing it together until it comes into a ball. And that's it. We've made our pie dough. I've made enough dough for a top crust and a bottom crust, and I'm gonna cut this in half so I have 2 equal pieces. The dough needs to rest for an hour, at least an hour, but up to 24 hours, and that will allow the lard in the dough to really, really chill so that it won't melt, and also to allow the dough just to come together to make a really nice dough. And I'm patting this out into discs instead of a ball because that will just allow the whole thing to chill much faster. Then I'll wrap this in plastic wrap.